Well, hello everybody, and Merry Christmas. That's what I meant. I am here today with some Christmas tree questions with Ian, Sheila, Eric, and Eric. I've got my eggnog. I've got my Christmas cookie. I don't know if you guys are as prepared for this as I am, but you guys can introduce yourselves.
I am Eric, and I'm not prepared. As Christmassy as I get, so that's to say pretty much no.
I'm Sheila Lynn, and I've got the most Christmassy thing there is, and that is a Coke.
And I'm Eric, and I have some winter green Altoids for you tonight. Smells like a Christmas tree.
I'm Ian, and I've got some homemade eggnog here, provided by Chris.
Yeah, I made that eggnog.
Yeah, everyone else be jealous.
Very.
We know who the favorite is.
Because you guys didn't come to my party.
I didn't even know you had a party.
That's probably a big part of why you guys didn't come.
That's the giveaway right there.
All right, well, let's get into questions. Like I said, today, every question is about Christmas trees. So our first question is, at 211 feet, where was the tallest Christmas tree displayed and in which year?
Is that international?
It is as far as I know, the tallest Christmas tree in the world in the history of Christmas trees.
Japan, because they always go way over.
They have a lot to make up for.
I thought that was like a kaiju joke.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
1958 in Brazil.
Did you just look that up?
No, I'm just throwing
Brazil?
random stuff out.
If you did look it up,
Go
you looked it up.
New York City. 1939.
Chris, were these? Is it 211 metric feet?
Sure.
It's 211 elf feet stacked on top of each other.
Above sea level.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that metric sea level?
I'm thinking Japan.
Japan?
I'm gonna say Japan. 2000.
Japan 2000. Eric, you said New York. Did you have a year?
I'm going to go with 1939.
Nice.
Good year for Christmas trees.
Yeah, that had to be a good year. Everything else was just shitty, so
It's a good war for
had to
everything.
be good.
Ian, do you have an official guess?
I'm going to say the top of Mount Everest.
So that would be highest tree, not tallest tree, because I don't think
the highest tree is made of marijuana leaves.
Ironically, the tallest tree could have been the highest tree because it was in Washington State in 1950.
Oh, I was close.
It was also in what is kind of the most depressing example of commercialism ever. It was displayed in a shopping center, in Northgate Shopping Center. So even back in 1950.
It's a tall shopping center. Gee.
Right?
What?
It's like a shopping mall, but they put it up on its side.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what, though? It's not depressing because nowadays, if you hear about like a major event in a shopping center, it's usually like a shooting or a bombing or something.
Well, that could be Christmassy. I mean, wait, depending on how it's done.
Bang, 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 bang.
If they have those guns that like a little flag comes out that says,
The night Santa went crazy.
There's a lot of songs about this. All right. So we're 0 for 1. We're going to go to question number 2. What tie does Christmas trees have to ancient Egypt, ancient China, Israel, and pagan Europe?
a bow tie.
Wood.
They all had wood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on wood. I like that.
Ian, sticking to facts. That's a good move.
I'm going to say it had something to do with being an evergreen. Something
Eric's on the right track.
green.
Can you repeat the question?
Eternal life kind of thing.
Eric's dead on.
Should I keep going?
All four. I mean, you're at the whole answer. So
Wow.
And it was used in cat litter as a deodorizer. No, I'm off.
let me check. Oh, wow, that's right too. Well, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, in ancient Egypt, China, Israel, and Europe, which were places, I guess Israel and Egypt went to talk to each other, but those places didn't see a lot of each other. All of them used evergreens as a symbol for eternal life, much like we do today.
Nice.
Isn't that neat?
And I just guessed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Chris, I think you meant Palestine.
Question number 3. This one's pretty straightforward. Who invented Christmas tree lights?
Big.
An individual name you want, or what? Gosh,
It's somebody you've all heard of.
Humans?
really?
Whoever it was, I just know Edison stole it afterwards. So it doesn't-
So Thomas Edison was the answer I was looking for, but actually you're exactly right. His assistant, Edward Johnson, invented them, and then Thomas Edison took credit.
Oh,
Did you guys prepare for this?
The more amazing part of this fact to me
It's
wasn't,
what Edison did. It's just what he did.
when in doubt, if it's electrical, assume Thomas Edison stole the patent for it.
Or paid for it or something.
Yeah, I just recently learned that he is responsible for the film industry being on the West Coast. Because apparently when moving pictures were a new thing, like he was famous for just suing any film company on the East Coast because he lived in New Jersey. His company was there. And so all the other filmmakers were like, fuck it, let's go far enough away that he's like too lazy to chase us there with a lawsuit. So they ended up in California, Southern California.
It was God's will. It's manifest destiny for cinema.
Okay, so the most interesting part of this fact to me wasn't that the guy who invented light bulbs was also the guy who put them on Christmas trees. Is the fact that putting lights on trees was not a novel idea, and that people had been putting candles in trees since the early 1600s, which means for the better part of 280 years, Christmas was like the time of terrible fire hazards in your home.
yeah, actually, I had stories of my mom growing up. My grandfather would stay awake with a bucket of water next to the tree while all the kids would dance around it. So, yeah,
What did the kids dance around when you guys didn't have a tree?
I don't know.
Just regular
Mulberry bush.
mulberry bush.
On to question number 4, we've got, so the city of Westminster, England, every year it receives a Christmas tree as a thanks for their help in World War II. What city gives them that Christmas tree?
It's not Kankakee, is it?
It is not
Okay.
Kankakee, Illinois.
Yeah, it'll be like
Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh is not a town, but in fact a man who died 6,000 years before World War II.
No, you're thinking of Gilgamesh monster. It's a common misconception. It's
Yeah,
So, like,
still wrong.
is it like Oslo?
It is exactly Oslo.
Oh my goodness!
nice. What? Is that a guess?
Yeah, kind of. I knew there was like a connection. Like, I figured it wouldn't be something obvious like France was all. Just trying to think of what.
once again, we have a thing that in the past was famous for Christmas and in modern times famous for a horrible shooting. Just pointed it out.
I just remember reading a book when I was a kid that was about like the Nazis and invading Norway and like how it was about them sneaking Norway's gold out of the country, like by using sleds. And
Well,
like,
they made up with it by giving him a tree. So yeah, they take all the gold and they give him a tree. Hey.
I don't know if that was I don't think that was the connection, but
Anyway, I'm impressed that we're 3 for 4 right now.
Jesus.
Let's see if we can keep it going.
Trivia.
That's right, Sheila. Let's keep the Christ and Christmas.
because I
first.
don't know Simpsons trivia, I just know random useless trivia.
Hey, they are a part of history too.
Question number 5. What city does Nova Scotia give a Christmas tree to every year since 1971? And bonus points if you can figure out why they give them a tree.
I'm going to say Gilgamesh on Oslo with a candlestick.
Yeah.
Wrong.
To New York to remain on good terms.
All right. Not correct, but I like the answer.
Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine. Sheila was in the right region.
Yes.
I was actually thinking Maine too, but
Close.
I don't know.
Boston?
Brooklyn?
Boston is right.
Oh, nice.
So now the harder part of the question: can anybody guess why they give one to Boston?
Was it a dowry?
God, I wish that was the answer.
Jeez.
Does it have to do with like the French and Indian War?
No, it's more recent than that.
Is it because, much like people from Nova Scotia, you can't understand people from Boston either, and it's their way of bonding?
They're
What did he say? I don't know. I think they want to give us a tree.
So the reason why, there it is because of something called the Halifax explosion. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
It's a huge party. And by party, I mean it was a disaster in 1917 where a boat full of TNT exploded in the harbor and killed hundreds of people.
Oh yeah. The Halifax.
And then Boston sent them a bunch of supplies. So they said, hey, thanks. And for some reason, if I did my math right, 54 years later, started to give them Christmas trees every year. So I guess it just took that long to put Halifax back together. No.
Yeah. See, I would have thought it had something to do with the Irish.
The Irish.
Yeah.
Just because of your hat.
It's always
There's
the
no Irish on the head.
Yeah.
I just like how they waited 54 years. It's like, maybe we should give them a thank you gift.
You think they were like deliberating that whole time? Like it was in their legislature to decide what the gift was, but it took 54 years to settle on something.
Maybe it was 54 years later that finally the Boston mayor was like, you know, you never gave us a thank you card or anything for giving you those supplies.
Hey, dicks.
They gave them wood.
Maybe that's how long it took them to sleep off their hangover.
That's right.
You can't get trees in the United States either. It's a nice gift. What do you say to that? No, we can get those here. I mean,
Right.
that would be
Actually,
fun.
produce those.
Can you get us something else?
Send crabs.
Can you re-gift a tree to another city?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they send it to London to Westminster, England every year. Who was the first president to put a Christmas tree in the White House?
Got to be George Washington.
No, it's Donald Trump, because he has the courage to do it after
Oh.
Obama's.
Teddy
Uh,
Roosevelt.
I actually specifically wrote a note in here about both of the last two presidents mentioned. The one about Trump was about how he was the first person to use Christmas trees to create a dystopian hellscape in the White House.
Yeah.
Those blood trees were pretty awesome.
They're the worst. And then Sheila, you're the opposite of right. Teddy Roosevelt actually banned them from the White House for environmental reasons.
Environmental reasons?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't want people cutting down trees.
he was a big environmentalist. Yeah.
He wasn't good at it. He was just like a big guy and also an environmentalist.
Like,
I've heard that they use like fox urine sprayed on wild trees to keep people from cutting them down, because you can't smell it when it's frozen in the cold, but when you bring it into your house and it thaws out, it just smells like piss.
I gotta
It's really bad.
We got that tree then, because ours is nasty. I saw our cat pissing on it though. But
You had to break the fox off of it when you cut it down.
Was it Abraham Lincoln?
You are very close. Before
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln,
Before,
if you
but
guys
not
can get the
George.
number, I'll count it, because
Is it-
there's a good chance you don't even remember this
is
president.
it Zachary Tyler?
It is not.
Ah,
It is post.
William
Cleveland?
Harrison.
Ready to be reminded of a president you haven't thought about since grade school?
Yes.
Lay it on me.
It's not Taft. I know. I'm just
Franklin Pierce,
Franklin
President
W.
number 14. I literally don't know anything about him, so as far as I know, his greatest contribution to America is putting the first Christmas tree into the White House.
He invented pierced ears, Chris.
That makes sense. All right, I didn't number these questions. What a huge mistake. All right, this is question number 7. This is by far my favorite question because you guys are going to not even understand what I'm asking. The question is, 98% of Christmas trees are what?
Trees. Wood.
100% of them are trees.
You beat me to it. 98% what?
Are
Caucasian?
decorated?
You know what?
Michael.
Are decorated?
No.
No.
Oh, our chipped are like not sold, so like they just get burned or
Oh,
something.
that's bad.
That's a good guess. That's not what it is, though.
Good. No.
Is it that the trees are racist?
That's 100% of trees, actually. It's a little known fact. Luckily, they don't have mouths, so it's hard to tell.
They always look down upon cross pollination.
Yeah. They're part oak.
Hey, I learned in Sunday school that's a sin.
Let's see.
Oh, 98% are kept up year round.
Is it that they're grown on farms?
It is exactly that they are grown on farms.
Oh,
Isn't that
That's
crazy? Only 2% of Christmas trees every year are grown in the wild.
Mm.
Which
What happens when you get a cottage industry? They start growing themselves.
Terrible. Excellent execution.
we can't top that, so we'll just go on to question number 8. Question number 8. What were the first artificial Christmas tree needles made out of? So the
Actual hypodermic needles.
Yes.
It's true. The first Christmas trees were invented by cocaine addicts.
I think you mean heroin trees, Chris.
Sure, whatever. I've never done either. I haven't watched enough Breaking Bad to know how they're done.
No.
Isn't Breaking Bad meth? So it's
It is.
neither of those things.
And I've watched all of it, so
You guys have a lot of catching up to do. Is it worse than that? Is it glass?
no, it's actually like very nice and soft.
Is it feathers?
It is feathers.
Huh.
What?
It was feathers dyed green were the first needles. Again, my favorite part of the fact isn't that they were feathers. It was that when we got civilized and we went, these don't look like needles. We need to put real needles on. We started using toilet brush bristles that had been dyed green. So
Yeah.
everybody's Christmas tree was just a huge toilet brush.
storage.
At least you can use it afterwards.
It's true. You just break off a branch. It's actually kind of a great solution because I feel like there's nothing that I feel grosser doing than like scrubbing out a toilet and then putting the toilet brush back into that little like.
Yeah.
How many toilet brushes do you guys go through in a month?
Well, one, we
72.
just use the same one, but I would prefer to just use it and then throw it out because it was just the branch of my tree.
What's a toilet brush? What do you mean?
It's some people call it a toothbrush also.
Oh, right, of course. That's what I meant. Toilet brush. That's
Ian,
weird.
shut your toilet. Well, that one went quick, so we'll pop down to question number 9. We're almost to the double digits.
Ooh.
Here is a play the odds question. Where is the most expensive Christmas tree in the world, which is valued at $11.4 million?
Dubai.
Dubai is right. Always say Dubai anytime the question is where is it expensive anything.
Anytime it's like a lot of money. Yeah. Dubai. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so fast on that.
You didn't even get a chance, Derek.
I was trying to figure out how to show you guys a picture of this tree because it's absolutely ridiculous, but I can't. I'm not technologically savvy, so we're just going to go to question number 10.
Wait. What makes it so expensive?
Toilet brushes. Really nice ones.
They don't have them there, so it's rare. I don't know why it cost how much it did because it looks like any standard tree in like a hotel lobby.
So I found why it costs so much. It's a big tree. They said it's about 40 feet. It's, a normal big Christmas tree in a hotel lobby. But it's decorated, instead of just ornaments, it's decorated in roughly $11 million worth of jewelry. It's just like covered in precious stones and gold.
Precious.
Precious.
And is it like a giving tree where you can just go and like feel like an orphan in need of precious stones?
Well, they put all the jewelry up high, but then you can pull off the tags. And the tags tell you like what other pieces of expensive jewelry you can come and put back on the tree.
Man, that is full circle like terrible capitalism.
Late
You,
stage
you
capitalism.
can't touch anything on this tree because you can't afford it. But here's a piece of paper that tells you what it is and how much it costs.
What uncommon form of transportation is a common method of getting Christmas trees off of tree farms?
A unicycle.
I wish that were the case. The trees ride them out on their own.
Well, they use a bunch of college kids who are taking their circus acts class, and that's how they.
Yeah.
A horse.
A horse. It is not a horse. That kind of. I think that would have been my guess.
Hmm.
Is it a sleigh?
It is not a sleigh.
A golf cart.
Not a golf cart either. You guys are thinking
Dune buggy.
Too much?
very. You guys are thinking very land based.
Snowmobile?
A submarine?
Submarine? What?
Fill
Is
them
it
up. That's why they're shaped
dirigible?
like big long trees.
A dirigible.
What?
Dirigible, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
closest.
A trebuchet. Launch that sucker out of there.
I
I want a Christmas tree farm.
I absolutely would be on board for starting a GoFundMe to make a Christmas tree trebuchet.
That would be sweet.
No, it is an aircraft, but it is not a dirigible.
Helicopter?
It is a helicopter.
Really?
They literally like run down straps from the bottom of a helicopter, strap them up around a whole bunch of logs, and then they airlift them out of the farm because the farms are so
See,
big.
I would have done one of those cut your own if that was the case. I didn't know that.
Whenever
Get in the helicopter.
they give you a helicopter, yeah, it's
That's
incredible.
nice.
Okay, so this year, my mom, we go to cut down a Christmas tree from a farm every year. And my mom found this farm in Wisconsin where after you've cut your tree down, they have a Newfoundland dog, you know, those big black wolf looking ones, come and like drag your tree on a sled back to your car.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's ridiculous.
You need to
And
send us all that farm.
It was insanely crowded. Like,
I could see that.
you could just carry your tree, or you could wait an extra 20 minutes for a dog to come and drag it.
Well,
The thing is like,
Did they have multiple dogs?
even if it was an extra charge, yes.
Dog. Honestly, I always feel like those dogs are the happiest dogs because they actually like do stuff other than just spend all day sitting around the house waiting for their owner to come home.
Yeah. I bet they love the exercise.
They said that about slavery. I don't know. It's like, come on.
Why?
Dogs pulling trees.
You have to ruin a beautiful thing.
And we'll go on to question number 11 after that.
there's a picture of one of them.
Jeez.
Look at that huge tree
Oh.
and that
Let's see that again.
comparatively
Oh, you'd
small
be
dog.
smiling.
All right, that dog does look happy.
What a pretty doggo.
All right. If I'm gonna have to move on because we keep talking about dogs, we're never gonna get to question number 11.
No, please do. I'm just going to distract you with this.
Oh, hold on a sec. Oh, look
Oh,
at that
yeah. All right, go ahead, Chris.
Can
Sorry.
we get that dog to be the extra member of the That's What I Meant team in the future? He can just sit off to the side and he'll just pop up every once in a while.
Wait, but what about my kitty?
That works. Any kind of animal. We're short on animals, so.
Yar.
All right, question number 11. This is the closest to the target. I'm guessing nobody's going to get it dead on. But according to TMZ, my favorite and most trusted news source, what did the National Tree Lighting Ceremony in Washington, D.C. cost this year? So how much did we as taxpayers pay for the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony?
I'm going to guess $350,000.
All right.
1 million.
15 million.
I was thinking like 7.5 million.
Then you guys all went really big. So Ian wins by default. It was $141,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not a crazy amount of money until you consider that like it's to turn on a Christmas tree, which doesn't cost very much money.
Oh, I thought there'd be security and all that stuff.
I was gonna say, is it though, like, because you have like the security, all the people hanging around?
Sure. That probably doesn't get counted into the cost. I'm guessing it's probably all of the like they have to buy a stage and do like a speech and do lighting and do music and they pull in all these things and a whole bunch of people make a whole bunch of money to turn on a Christmas tree. I just felt like we should all know, as citizens of the United States, what we're paying for.
Thank you, Chris.
Question number 12. On average, how many bugs and insects does a Christmas tree contain?
135.
Dubai.
This wasn't money. Don't guess Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
Oslo, Norway.
4,000.
How many bugs and insects? A dozen? 12 insects of Christmas?
12 bugs of Christmas.
1,200.
All right. I forgot kind of what some people's guesses were. So, rundown. Everybody, give me your guess.
135.
1,200.
12.
2,000.
Eric, you win. You're the closest, and you're still short by 28,000. On average, Christmas tree contains about 30,000 bugs and insects.
Jeez.
Nice.
The appropriate reaction. So I have finished my eggnog. Which means it is time for me to go and eat dinner. I hope you all have a good night and a Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.